Welcome to the Midnight Library. I see you found your way here, despite the hour. Tell me, what time is it where you are? And where are you listening from?
We wanted peace. That's all we wanted. Just a little break from the city, from the noise, the deadlines, the emails we never finished replying to. So when Liam suggested we spend a quiet weekend at a remote lake cabin he found online, I said yes, without hesitation. It was beautiful, isolated, no neighbors for miles. And the lake? It was like glass, a smooth, endless sheet of dark water reflecting the stars at night. We arrived Friday afternoon, brought snacks, wine, books we'd probably never open. It was supposed to be perfect, and for a while, it was. Until the first night. It was around 11:47 p.m. when I heard it. A woman's scream. It was distant, but not that distant. Maybe somewhere near the woods across the lake. I froze. Liam muted the movie we were watching, brows furrowed. "You heard that, right?" I nodded. It sounded like a scream. Then, silence. And then something else. Muffled voices. It didn't sound like arguing. More like someone trying to speak while being covered. We stood up, opened the cabin door. The night air was cold and damp. The lake looked still, the trees unmoving. "Hello?" Liam called out. No answer. Only the sound of leaves rustling lightly, a frog croaking in the distance. We stood there for a while, waiting for another scream. But it never came. Eventually, we went back in, but neither of us really slept that night. The next morning, after breakfast, we walked along the lakeshore. The sun had risen. A thick mist clung to the trees, lifting slowly as if the forest was waking up. And that's when we saw it. A red kayak, drifting quietly near the shore. Just sitting there. It wasn't there yesterday. We looked around. No one in sight, no footprints, no bags. "Do you think someone left it?" I asked. Liam shrugged. "Maybe it belongs to the cabin across the lake." "There is no cabin across the lake." We stood in silence, watching it rock ever so slightly with the ripples. Then Liam grinned. The kind of mischievous grin he wore when he convinced me to sneak into concerts in college. "Want to ride it?" I hesitated. "It's not ours. It's just a quick loop. We'll bring it back. Come on, look at the view." The lake shimmered beneath the morning sun. The tree line mirrored perfectly. Eventually, I gave in. The kayak was old but sturdy. There were 2 paddles tucked neatly inside. We climbed in, our legs balancing carefully. The moment we pushed off the shore, it felt like we were gliding into another world. Silence. Not the kind that feels peaceful, the kind that feels being watched. About halfway across the lake, I noticed something at my feet. A compartment, like a storage space. I pulled it open. There was only one thing inside. A Polaroid. Old. The edges were slightly damp. I picked it up, slowly, and froze. In the photo was a woman. She looked terrified. She was sitting on the floor, her hands tied behind her back, duct tape over her mouth. She was in some kind of cabin, maybe a basement. The light in the photo was dim, but I could make out a dusty wooden beam behind her, and a stack of crates. Liam looked over my shoulder and swore under his breath. "What the hell is this?" I don't know. My hands were shaking. I turned it over. There was writing on the back, a date, 17th August 2023. That was nearly 2 years ago. We paddled back fast. I kept looking behind us. I don't know why. The lake was empty. But it felt like something was chasing us. Like we'd disturbed something that didn't want to be found. When we got back to the cabin, Liam called the local police station. They said they'd send someone the next day. But that night, we couldn't sleep again. Not because of a scream this time, but because of a sound we heard at 2:11 a.m. The kayak, dragging softly against the dock. We looked out the window. There was someone standing near it, holding something. We didn't dare open the door. By the time morning came, both the kayak and the figure were gone. The police came around noon. They checked the photo, asked us a few questions, said there'd been no missing person cases at this lake in years. No break-ins, no previous reports. They took the Polaroid and thanked us for reporting it. Before they left, I asked the officer, "Do you recognize the woman in the photo?" He looked at it again, then handed it back. "Hard to tell," he said, "but the date on it..." He paused. That was the same weekend a young couple went missing from a cabin across the lake. I froze. "There is a cabin?" "There was," he replied. "It burned down 2 summers ago." I asked, "What happened to the couple?" He didn't answer. He just said, "Don't go into any boats that aren't yours." We left the lake that afternoon. Haven't been back since. But sometimes, when I scroll through old vacation photos, I wonder, was someone watching us that whole time?
Another chapter closed. Leave the candle lit in the comments and tell us what part of the story stayed with you.